I had a high school sweetheart. Did you date in high school?
No, I wasn't allowed, but I was
Okay.
17 freshman year of college,
Got
and
it.
that's where
You're
my
still a teenager.
teenager.
Yeah. So, I definitely had a high school sweetie. And of course, at the time, we were head over heels in love. And fast forward now as an adult, I'm like, was it love if we didn't have any like real hurdles and challenges? Like teenage love doesn't compare to adult love, but it was real at the time. It felt real at the time. The pain and heartbreak when it ended was definitely very real. So
That diary with the teardrops.
the poems were real. Oh, so much poetry. Does it compare to the adult love that I'm experiencing in my life now? But I do think it was real at the time.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
think of it this way. Some people meet their partner, their life partner in high school, and then they get married and they have the kids. And I know someone from my hometown who did that, and they're super happy and they have 2 kids. So imagine their relationship fizzling 6 years in, right? And then they marry other people. So would they discount those 6 years and be like, we were never in love? Versus we count it as a love story starting from teens because they're still together. So I feel like that even just proves that theory that like love at any stage is still love, because you're not going to be like, yeah, we were together 20 years, but the first 11 years of our love story doesn't count because we were young. So we're going to start the clock at 25. Like no one does that.
Yeah.
So love is just love.
Yeah, it counts as long as like the feelings are real. I think if you're getting into a relationship because, I don't know, it's just comfortable or you are scared of being alone and emotions were never a deciding factor to commit to this partner, then that's maybe a different story because you weren't considering love out the gate. But for anybody that started out as a loving couple, I think that holds true.
Yeah. What I said in the rapid fire about how I had to read about love, because I was like, what? How does it work as an adult now? I really did. I read the Bell Hooks book all about love, and I thought maybe it'd be a fairy tale. I don't know what I thought the book was, but it's an actual nonfiction book where she literally reads about love and goes to the history of love and the family unit and trauma and violence. And she like starts it off with a banger talking about how she's like, yeah, I never actually knew love. And most of you haven't either. And I'm like, excuse me?
Tell me more.
You mean my parents don't love me? She's like, they think they love you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Because if you really think about it, even if you go in scripture and stuff, and how like love is supposed to be kind and love is like everything positive, right? But we grow up, a lot of us, like neglected, maybe emotionally, like maybe like you didn't get the affection you needed, or the dad who just grunts when he comes home and like sits on the couch and it's like, okay, well, are you gonna play with me? Like, no, cool. But they think they love you because they feed you and put clothes on your back. But it's like, as a human, we need more than that. Like, so that's why we grow up kind of stunted as an adult. And then there's so many breakups because we don't know what to look for, because if we weren't loved properly as a child, how could you magically know how to love correctly as an adult? So we make weird choices. And I'm like, wow, the book was so illuminating.
Yeah. That reminds me of, as a parent, like we say all the time, like, I love my child. Like, I would do anything for them. Like, I would die for my child. And it's like, great, cool. But, we're skipping a few steps. Like, maybe you don't have to die for them. Maybe you just have to live a healthier lifestyle. Maybe you have to break up with that toxic partner because now you're modeling a relationship that you would be mortified if your child stayed in. Like, we always jump to the most extreme, like, I would die for my baby. And it's like, no, just maybe stop eating fast food every day for your baby so that they grow up as an adult that doesn't eat fast food every day for every meal every time,
Why you got to be so loud, Alex?
I'm just saying, like, there are so many other things that you can do for your baby before jumping in front of a bus. I mean, if it comes to that, cool. But like, I want to model like a healthy relationship for my child. I want to model healthy communication. I don't just want to like shut down when I'm arguing with my partner. If she does overhear me and my husband having a fight, I let her know, hey girl, I know you heard that, because our apartment is small. We worked through it, because a lot of times, we hear our parents fighting and then just that's it. That's the end of the story. We don't know how they resolved it, if they resolved it when, and now you're an adult kind of like stumbling through the same thing. And we are told, maybe you are allowed to date, or to your point, no, you're not allowed to date, or wait, save this, save that for marriage. But like, what about like love? Like, how do you know when you're in love? How do you know when this is a safe feeling to pursue? How are those conversations happening, like with our children?
To be honest, I think a lot of previous generations did not have the luxury of love because it's just a struggle bus, like got it out the mud situation. And like, I think even my parents, like, they're still married over 40 years. But did I see love? I saw commitment. What I would describe as love, I'm like, wasn't that affectionate? It was like, you go to work, I go to work, feed the kids. Like, it was just like, we got things done. So I saw a TV showed me things. That's why I got everything wrong, because TV's not real.
Yes, I too learned this the hard way.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, how come my big brother doesn't sit at the end of my bed and be like, hey, kiddo, what's on your mind? No one did that to me. I would just like be in my own head. I would talk to the dog. Like, I didn't have the language to share my feelings. Like, so I don't know. I feel like if you instill that into your kids and actually talk to them and ask them questions about school, that's not just how was your day, like ask them specific questions like, oh, like whatever happened with your friend in that thing? Or are you excited about that presentation? I heard you working on it in your room. Like, actually open-ended questions, and like know that they're safe and they're heard, because I think we forget that kids are literally mini adults. They're humans. They're in a few years will be your age as well. So how could they magically know how to operate if they haven't really been modeled love? And we keep just throwing on them Disney movies just to like keep them occupied. And then they go to school and they're like, okay, there's my Prince Charming. Why isn't he nice to me? Oh, well, the movie says that you're just supposed to act aloof and then he will come to me. It's all messed up. Hence me at my big age reading about it.
Yeah. Younger me was definitely told that, when a boy is like picking on you or bullying you, no matter how like innocent or playful or whatever, it's because he likes you. And I think that's a narrative we have now shifted away from. It's like, no, you don't get to like shove somebody and they're supposed to go, oh, Timmy likes me because he pushed me in the mud. Like, address your feelings, learn how to communicate, and show them in a healthy way. So I'm very excited for my daughter to just be growing up with a different narrative. At least in our house, we're teaching her differently, and she knows that, well, I hope she knows that healthy relationships don't start with, any of that kind of behavior.
I remember when I came over to the house, remember the date weekend, and I stopped by real quick to drop off baby clothes.
Yeah.
And you were like, I don't know, brushing your teeth or doing something. You were like, oh, how was the date? And I was like, girl, it was bad. And then her daughter, who's 14, was just in the area, and I'm all chit-chatting like she one of the girls. I'm like, so like he didn't even, and then Alex was like, even that she's a child. I was like, I forget. Because she's so tall. And she just blends in, and we just kiki. And I was like, oh, right. Go in your room. Go play with a doll or something. Right. I don't know. But we were just like, that was just so funny to me. But at the end of the day, 14 is old enough. She does watch TV and like all those teen movies and things, right? So I wasn't saying anything crazy. We're talking about how was my first date. And I was literally telling Alex why it wasn't good. And I'm like, but hey, sometimes that's the type of stuff younger people need to know before they start dating anyway. Like, how is he treating you? How did you feel on the date? Like, so, but that was really funny. Oh, that was really funny.